What's up, Grappophiles? My name's John Evans, and I will be your host again for another Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament match. Today's match is going to be with my friend Kevin Widdoes here on the left, and he is an up-and-comer in the purple belt scene. He's been around for a long time, he's been grappling for a while, but kind of was on a hiatus for a little bit, focusing on life stuff, which, you know how that crap can get in the way. But now he's back into it, and I think this was his first tournament back in a while. This is the Copa Pacifica, I believe. He is a purple belt, and I believe this is lightweight as well. Very good. I've trained with him before. I've even competed against him, and he's very, very good. Definitely could be, if he competed more consistently and trained as hard as he should be training, could definitely be a top contender for purple belt. So keep an eye on him. I really want to start casting some more up-and-comers, too, in the near future, because it's great to see where these guys are coming from, to catch them when they're new, and then you can watch them as they go all the way to black belt and destroy the division there, just like the Mendez brothers. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. And he trains out of the same gym as Benny Dariush. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He's a brown belt. And he was, they're in Orange County, and he was the one that took Crone Gracie to a controversial decision at the Abu Dhabi Pro Trials in San Diego. Now, I honestly think that Benny won that match, but they gave it to Crone. I believe it was a little bit of iffy reffing or judging on that one, but, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles with jiu-jitsu. But anyway, so this is his teammate, Kevin Widdoes here in the white gi on the bottom. And it looks like he jumps guard right away, and he goes to close guard. And I think he's working on that right arm of his opponent. And now he's got this nice grip over the back here. He's in a very good leg drag situation. If he has his right hand on the sleeve of his opponent, he's trying to force it across his body and away from him as he climbs up to the back. And that's exactly what he's doing. I love this grip that he has there. He's mixing it up from the shoulder here to the armpit, which is where I particularly prefer it. And then this grip right here, he's just grabbing onto that sleeve and forcing it away from him. His opponent is doing a good job of, he doesn't really have a lot of the leverage, but he's using this hand as nearly like a crossface to keep Kevin from coming all the way back and around and taking his back. The only problem with that is when you leave this arm out, sometimes you can get that caught in an arm bar, which it looks like he's trying to be cautious of. It's very, very tough. When your opponent gets this far on his side, it's very tough to do. Oh, and very nice sweep. Kevin grabbed that far knee right here and used his momentum to overturn his opponent, and now he's up in kind of this it's like a partial mount position. It can be very tough to maintain, though. His opponent puts him back in half guard, and then it looks like he goes to like a Z guard with a knee shield right here, and he's on his side. So this can be okay for the person on the bottom because he is on the side, but it looks like Kevin is lacing this arm through, and he's going to go for that leg weave pass. This one, there's a couple of different versions of the leg weave pass, and it looks like the one that he's using is probably the more traditional version, where you bend this arm and you try to put a lot of shoulder pressure down and then leg work. You saw him right there. He'll leg work this leg. He'll just turn his hips this way, and then he turns them back the opposite way, and that allows him to swivel the leg right over his opponent's leg. And he was able to get around the leg, but then his opponent, very good scramble and replace guard again. Looks like he's going for it again. If you keep the arm bent, you have to really make your body a lot lower and put a lot of pressure on the top leg with your shoulder. So it looks like he's kind of mixing a combination of the two. He's got the arm straight sometimes, which can also be a very, very good way of using the leg weave pass. Or sometimes he has the arm bent, in which case you really need to sprawl out and put your weight on your opponent's top leg. Let's see if he gets by. Oh, and he leaves that arm exposed. Oh, this is no good. Right here, if his opponent pops that arm out, Kevin should just concede to the sweep right there. It's much better than getting Kimura, because if that arm comes out, then Kevin is in a world of hurt because he's stuck in the half guard, so it's very tough. Very nice. So his opponent did get the arm out, and then Kevin saw the danger and then just rolled right to his back, which is the proper response. It's better than being submitted. So what, you take the sweep and maybe end up in mount, but it's better than getting finished. So, and his opponent is taking full advantage of that. Looks like he gets the points right there, and now he's trying to take the back. See if he's going to get points for the back. Oh, this is not looking so good for Kevin. Oh, he gets 4 points for the back. One tiny mistake by Kevin is when you're passing around to that side, if you leave that north side arm flared out and leave the elbow flared out, you can always get Kimura'd from the bottom of half guard, definitely. And that's exactly what happened. But he made the right response. He saw he was in danger, and then he got out of it. Here, he does a really good job of isolating one leg and scoops it back into the half guard. It looks like, I can't tell by the camera angle, but it looks like body position wise he could be in danger of a head and arm choke over here. So I hope he's looking out for that one, but he's keeping that leg tucked in there, and he should try to turn his hips all the way around and look into his opponent as opposed to be facing this way towards the camera. But let's see if we can get a different camera angle here. This video was in 2 parts because they do go out of bounds, so I believe it's just restarting right here. And it looks like Kevin does get out of that position. He was in that half guard in the bottom, and he turns it into a single leg. Gets on the top, out of the scramble. Very nice. And they're going to have a nice little breather break here. If Kevin Widdoes is me, then I am taking my sweet time to tie my belt. I'll tie my pants. I'll try to put my hair in curlers or do whatever I can right here so to get my wind back, because I'm usually pretty tired by the time there's any kind of break in the match. Especially, they were going at a pretty good pace, and having your back taken can get the nerves up, and it kills your cardio. So I would be taking my sweet time tying that belt, but it looks like he is not doing so much. He doesn't even look that tired, which is a testament to his conditioning. Very nice, and they're starting from just open guard. And Kevin does a good job of Toreando pass right here with both legs. And he goes to the opposite side. Very nice switching back and forth. Oh, but I do not like that, though. When he came all the way around, he got a little greedy and went right to knee on belly. But that does not control the hips of your opponent. If you go right to knee on belly, they can just extend both arms, push on your leg or your body, hip out, and then bring their hips back in and replace guard. And that's exactly what his opponent did. I really like to finish that Toreando pass with my knee in between my opponent's legs and pushing them off to the side, like finishing a leg drag pass. But he does eventually get it to work, and now he's in his opponent's cross side, and he's got a head and hip here cross side, so he has this arm around his opponent's forearm, and he's got this arm controlling this near hip, so he can't replace guard. A lot of times here, a good option for the person on the bottom is to go to a single leg. Try to get your knees go to this side and bridge out and go right over into a single leg, because it's very hard to replace guard when your opponent has his arm in between your hips and his legs. So I believe, but this is also a very good position for Kevin to mount. So let's look to see if he tries to throw that leg over and go right to mount here. His opponent's arms are just all over the place. This is not good. He's holding on to his leg here. Maybe he's up on points and just trying to hold Kevin. I'm not sure, but this is never good. You're just exposing yourself to a world of pain. Kevin could lace this arm underneath here, run around to this side and get a darce. There's just a ton of things he can do. He can grab this arm and try to walk north-south and go for a Kimura. A lot of things. But it looks like, I believe, time ran out. And Kevin was up on points. I'm not sure what his opponent was doing there at the end. He was actually doing a pretty good job earlier on, but Kevin definitely very good effort, nice passing, and good composure too, because he had his back taken, remember, and he came back from a little bit of a deficit. And that also, it can hurt your mentality if you let it get to you in a gi game. You start, as Cabrina says, start sending that negative energy to your mind, and then it's like, oh, I messed up. What am I going to do next? And then everything you do from there on is just going to mess up your game. You have to think like, if you're doing really well in tournament and something goes wrong, you got to think maybe it's not even you that's doing the thing wrong. It's just your opponent did something particularly well in one instant, so you can't beat yourself up about it. You just got to keep going on as if nothing happened and just, constantly work. And it doesn't matter if you're in the deficit points wise or if your opponent's on your back. You just keep working, and don't send that negative energy to your mind, because it really does mess you up in a tournament setting where so much of it is mental and your cardio starts to get shot. You just got to keep going. But that was that match, and maybe I will have some more from Kevin Widdoes coming up. Hopefully, definitely soon. We've got the Worlds coming up, so I'm very excited about that, and I will have some footage from that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.